After reading that title, one could draw a lot of simple conclusions as to why Crash 4 already looks better than Wrath of Cortex. There are a lot of obvious ways it looks better, such as the fact that it cares about consistency within its story, graphically it looks miles ahead than what came before it, the speed of the game looks much faster, they're not showing off oddball concepts, and the fact that the game seems to have an actual respect for the original trilogy. All of those statements are true, but the aspect I believe single-handedly makes Crash 4 look better than Wrath of Cortex is its platforming. And of course, I know there's platforming Wrath of Cortex. Look, there it is. But this is a concept that goes much deeper than it seems. In case you never noticed, each Crash game added new ways to enhance the platforming. Crash 1, it was very basic. Run, jump, spin, that's it. Crash 2 added the crouch, which in turn added the slide. The slide could be used to reach higher places, or be able to go faster within the levels. It was a very simple addition, but it made platforming much more complicated. Crash 3 then adds tons of new abilities, like the double jump, tornado spin, and the fruit bazooka. These made platforming even more complicated, as the double jump let you jump double, and the tornado spin allowed you to carry on a jump much longer than usual. Fruit bazooka let you shoot things. It wasn't really integrated into the platforming, but that's not the point. What was added did do so, in a way that wasn't possible before. Wrath of Cortex added the sneak. Yep, that's some sneak. And here's where the central problem becomes apparent. Wrath of Cortex did nothing new when it comes to platforming. In fact, it seemed like the game hated it. This can be seen in all the new power-ups they added. Sneak goes without saying, that's just awful. But the other abilities are worth talking about. One of the things they had Crash Pilot was this big ol' mech, which you think would be a really invigorating moment of you taking down enemies in front of you. Nope, you can't spin, you can't use any other power-ups except for the fruit bazooka, and you're a huge target that only looks kinda cool. And the most egregious part of this is that they somehow screwed up Crash's basic jump. When Crash is in the suit, he has two jumps, one stationary, one moving. This might not sound like a big deal, but my god, it ruins the platforming. See, the moving jump is just a normal jump. It jumps when you press the B button, what a concept. But when you're not moving, not only does this jump take a second to come out, but it goes nowhere. Why? Why would they do this? It makes no sense, and it only hurts the platforming. And you know what, to be fair, you aren't in this thing too often, but here's where the next problem comes in. This game barely even has any platforming in it. There's ball levels, plane levels, minecart levels, jeep levels, horrible water levels, jetpack level? There's so many ideas being thrown around here, and it leaves next to no time for classic Crash platforming, which is why people love this series in the first place. But to be even more fair, there is platforming here. They try to work it into these levels, sometimes. And yes, Crash still has those aforementioned abilities from Crash 3, but the game makes you unlock them as you progress, for some reason. Also, they seem significantly worse. The tornado spin just doesn't work most of the time, and the level design isn't open enough for these abilities to be used in a meaningful way like in its predecessor. It feels more like they're here out of obligation than anything. And it's funny, because they actively take them away throughout the game. There are levels where you play as Coco, which seem like they could be totally different and enhance the platforming, but no, she's Crash but worse. Can't slide, has no power-ups, can only kick. We regress back to Crash 1, ladies and gentlemen. After all this, I know that it seems like I'm just saying Crash 4 looks better because Wrath of Cortex sucks, but that's not it at all. Because Crash 4 has amazing power-ups. Do you see in this? Slowing down time, walking on ceilings, wall running? It's incredible. It looks so fast and fun and complicated. It doesn't look watered down and hard to use. It looks so accessible. There's so many things that can be done with these new concepts. It's amazing. And this is why Crash 4 looks better. Its ideas feel in tune with the gameplay we come to know, and not just some weird amalgamation of ideas. I'm so excited to see all the neat ways they're going to use these concepts, because there's so much that can be done with them. And most importantly of all, it relates to the platforming, which is what we love to see.